I don't know how you want to do this, because what I can do is I can just slip them in here and there, and then you can see if you notice, or see if I can do it naturally enough that you don't notice.
I'm fine with all of the above.
Still
Just slip
swinging. That's boxer for you, folks. Still swinging.
That's fair. I like that.
My new catchphrase, by the way, for my stream, I've actually commissioned Psychman to make me a new logo. My new catchphrase is always swinging.
Because of monkey stuff.
And folks, they are quite close.
Eco Kitty went from 1 to 2 to now 11 to 2.
He's trying to pick out that mango. He's so close.
Get it. Classic has no way to build scouts.
Those cabbages just falling prey to these camels. And now there are so many camels in the base. Too many.
I'll open it up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 1 finale of the Kings League. We have 4 games lined up for you to finish out the first week of games here. These contests will be between some players that we'll talk about later.
Matches. We have a style guide and we decided on matches.
Have you ever worked with an American before? It really sounds like you have not worked with Americans.
Nah, it's okay. One thing I know about Americans is they like competition.
Okay.
But we're very productive. That's why we're doing it live. That's why I'm just informing you about the style guide that I am creating live.
We'll be finishing out our bottom 3 conferences. These are our lowest ELOs. And
the worst of the worst. Would you agree?
Really say bottom of the barrel for this week. We started at the top and then we're just on a downhill slope. Next week,
entertaining.
Next week it's back up to the top again. So that'll be fun.
Which is also more entertaining. It's all more entertaining.
This is week 1 finish of an 8-week season, a grueling 8-week season, and these players are all fighting for a playoff spot. We have 1 unique civ per player, 2 civs that are potentially shared with a few other players, and we've got a home map draft. These all happened weeks ago. They've been preparing. They've been watching each other. They know who their matches were against. So, Mackie, I say we just jump in and see how these went down. There is 1 match that we will not have this week, and that really is the title bout between King Zondar and Captain Jout. King Zondar, in my opinion, are favored to take the whole thing, right? If we had to call a number 1 seed out the gate, it would be King Zondar. And
it's either him or Mike.
And no, that.
And Mike just got a new job, so he's a little busy now.
So we won't see Zondar right now.
Well, Mackie, Zondar has disappeared from the face of the earth. He's been MIA for almost 2 weeks. Knowing Zondar, which I do, he could be anywhere. He could be in any country, any city. I have no idea. I'm not joking. So yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. It's something to look forward to.
Zondar really playing into the Tony Stark, Playboy kind of a vibe here.
He's in a cave, like designing the perfect gaming PC using scrap metal right now.
The perfect Age of Empire gaming computer with like a half a gig of RAM from 1992. I don't even know.
He had to embed it in his chest in order for him to be able to play. But
yeah. Anyway, let's anything else you want to add this week, Mackie? Any of these contests that you're looking forward to? Anything you want to call out in particular?
Well, I do have a little bit of a disciplinary matter to discuss with you. I just want to say, Mike, if you're listening, you are not allowed to hide in Brick's bushes. You are not allowed. That's pretty much all I have to say. I just want to remind all the viewers, though, that these are professionals, folks. They're just not professional gamers. So give them a chance. Because, like I always love to say, we are looking for improvement here throughout the season. That's why it is a season, and we got off to some great games. Sorry, contests, matches last week, and I'm keen to see more. And what's more, we've been getting great feedback from everybody. So thank you to everyone who's watching already. Thank you to everyone who's listening. Keep those comments coming. We love to hear it.
All right, games for this week. You can see that we finished out these marked in yellow and green. Green indicates a win for who? For the name.
Green indicates a win for the winner.
Yeah, this is not this. I need to mess. This is terrible planning on my part. Green indicates
I want to say, right?
Green indicates a win for the person whose name is there, but it's not the person's column. So like this is Clatchett's column. Clatchett lost this game. It doesn't matter. Regardless.
And if you're listening, I just want to say, forgive us.
Yeah, this is also going to go on.
You don't need to know anything more.
This goes in the podcast forum, so don't worry about it. For our Showtel conference, which is kind of our mid-tier conference here, we have Jimmy versus DJ CJ3, the Strategos.
These guys are going to be at each other's throats because they hate each other. They don't really, but they're old buddies. Should be fantastic to see them go at it.
Training partners, right? They played each other quite a bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
So that'll be a fun match between two players that know each other's style. We then have Ivy Daily against Azure Sentry.
Oh boy. This one I'm really excited about because I feel like both of these players have a style that is like very combative towards the other. I feel like Ivy Daily is going to be really coming at Azure quite hard, and I think if Azure can get it to late game, he has a really strong shot. Will he be able to hold up to Ivy Daily's aggression? I don't know.
So that we can look forward to. We then drop into our next to lowest tier. Duke Canada and Champollion did not play their game. Champollion was sick and couldn't make it up. Champollion has actually since then bowed out of the league altogether. And we are looking for a replacement. We have somebody lined up around that ELO that can step in. Unfortunately, that person will start out with 1 loss on their record, and but otherwise they'll take over Champollion's civs and map. We've got an option to trade a few civs out, and we have an option for them to draft their own map from maps that haven't been chosen. And we're still finishing those details. But we did get a game from GunnerGates and Mike Jet. I think of this week potentially the title match that we're going to watch today.
I think Gunner versus Mike is going to be a classic low elo legend matchup. The difference between this and your average low elo legend game is that this one has stakes. So it's going to be hilarious.
Gunner and Mike, potentially a rivalry in the making here. I
think so too. I think by the end of this game, we could see that it could be heralding a new kingdom of rivalry.
I really want to save that game for the end, but we might stick that right in the middle, and then kind of be like we work up to the peak, and then work our way back down.
It's hard to come down from a game of Mike's.
So that'll be our only Karambit conference game this week. Berserk conference, our lowest conference, will have 95 Bricks versus Mango Lord, and the newly added Telesforus Games against Green Bay Burger. Telesforus Games coming in to replace Donrim, who bowed out the first week.
Yeah, another noob, Donrim, that we love dearly, but sad to see him go, as is the same with Champollion. Still, Telesforus Games, a great guy, so I haven't seen him play too much. It's going to be a warm welcome for him from Green Bay Burger, who had not been playing very much leading up to this match and was just so ready to go. Every time I saw him, the amount of energy in Discord he was putting out, he was all caps all the time. So he's going to come out with some seriously heavy aggression, and I feel like Bricks versus Manglelord could be the exact opposite of that game. Bricks is a guy who loves to boom, but both him and Manglelord have been putting in a lot of work to prepare. So I'm pretty excited to see what they come up with. I've seen some of Bricks' strategies in particular, and they're kind of scary. So I hope Manglelord's ready.
So I've played Green Bay Burger, and this past week
You've beaten him
I've beaten Green Bay. I've also
in
lost to
a
Green Bay.
tournament. No, wait. Yeah, technically a tournament. You beat him at the inaugural Parts Unknown
That too. I did beat him in that tournament.
for cash.
And I played Bricks for the first time this week in 3 games. I'm not amazing. I would be a competitive Berserk Conference player if I were in this league right now. I think 95 Bricks. I've been contemplating a Smurf award at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think 95 Bricks is in my running to be like what we need to call it, like most Smurf player. MSP. He's
like
he's in line to be the league MSP, the most Smurf player.
Can we also have like a least Smurf player, like the person who thinks that they're really good but has consistently shown they're terrible?
I'm okay with that. I'd rather rephrase it as the person who got into a conference in over their head, right? They accidentally snuck into a conference.
Yeah, I get that. But I think the thing about Bricks is, well, why don't we save a little bit of that for the matches?
Yeah. So I am looking forward to Bricks' game, and Green Bay against Teleforce Games. Green Bay always brings something wild. These will be fun games. Fun games to end the night on. I think I like to end with Green Bay regardless, because Green Bay can guarantee that we'll have a good time. So
I mean, his full name is Green Bay Burger, in case you all weren't aware.
Ivy Daily versus Azure Sentry. I want to look and see who had the home map.
Daily, yeah, what is this, Arabia again?
This is Arabia. Daily was the home player. Daily had the option to play on Enclosed and did not, which is very disappointing. I would have liked to see Enclosed here.
It's so interesting to me what goes through the mind of somebody who doesn't want to play on their home map. I think that we'll see more home maps as the season goes on. I think people will start to realize what an advantage it is to have a home map. I think right now a lot of people are still very comfortable on Arabia, so we'll see.
Well, not only did Daly not take his home map, he also did not take his primary civ, his unique civ, which is Magyar's. He chose Byzantines instead. Whereas Azure Sentry, he went Vietnamese, which is also not his unique civ. His unique civ is Malians. So both these players opting not to use their unique civ. Daly not even going to his home map. Byzantine's kind of a counter civ. Do you think this is Daly signaling he's not confident against Azure and he wants to have a counter civ to play defensively?
I mean, I think that the things that I'm thinking here, in Wandering Warriors, we've been seeing a lot of Byzantines, which can always influence a player. Just seeing them being used by professionals, it gives you new ideas and new strengths. However, the one that I'm really intrigued with is Azure Sentry's Vietnamese pick. To be honest with you, Boxer, we're just kind of in no man's land here. I know Azure Sentry is a player that likes to boom, so I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I'm just curious to see what these guys do with it, but Azure Sentry comes like 1 HP away from losing a villager there.
Or
nah, a little less than that,
but 1 hit.
It was exciting to me.
Azure's already scouting Daily.
I love that.
Daily is just taking some really big circles around his own base.
Azure Sentry, of course, as the Vietnamese, can see the starting position of Daily, so it's easy to get there.
That's true. Look
for some goats.
Daily has 4 on wood. Azure only has 3. Daily, it makes sense to open with archers, with Byzantines. Azure, 3 on wood says scouts to me.
It does, and you can do scouts. I've had Miguel actually show me how to do scouts as the Vietnamese doesn't mean that's their strongest open. So we'll see. Maybe Azure is just playing, a little deceptively here. Maybe Ivy Daily will just assume that Azure is going archers, but scouts can take someone really off guard if they're not expecting it.
What do you think about base situation? We've got a very large forward gold for Daily. Azure's forward gold's in the back, or large gold is in the back, rather.
Yeah, if I had to pick, I would pick Azure's map here. It's a lot simpler to wall. If you can wall in from this pond that Azure has on the right side of his base, if you can wall around that pond to the edge of the map, your main gold will be pretty safe. And Azure is actually recognizing that this map might be easily walled for him. He's getting some walls up in the north of his base already. So this wood line that he's taking, which is very much in the top corner of his base, is just near the edge of the map. So he's filling in the hole with a house, getting up some walls on the left side of that wood line, and it's looking like he's going to want a wall to his TC from there. On the other hand, though, Daily's map is quite open, especially on the right side. There's a vast swath of Arabian desert. And like you said, Ivy Daily's main gold is quite forward. So recognizing that, Ivy Daily has already put 2 houses next to a wood line near that forward gold and is now putting a barracks up next to another wood line on the opposite side of that forward gold. So you can see he's got buildings on the 2 sides, and he's going to try and bring them together with perhaps just a wall of palisades or houses to try and keep this main gold safe.
Daily's secondary and tertiary golds are pretty easy to secure, though. So long term, I like Daily's base. Daily already going up at 21 pop, having far less idle TC time than Azure. Azure already at a minute 55 as he clicks feudal.
Yeah, this is quite shocking. I mean, Daily is up to feudal age, and Azure Sentry is not yet clicking up. He's got 2 villagers in the queue. One is about to finish. Is he really going to wait for 1 more villager to be produced before going up to feudal age? Because right now, it's looking like the answer is yes.
Now, we were talking, I don't know what happened with that idle time. Where do you get 2 minutes of idle time out of a 10-minute game?
Yeah, that's just maybe nerves. I don't know. But you can see Azure is making a lot of errors here already. A mining camp coming up 2 tiles away from that main gold. Just things like that. It should be 1 tile away. Azure is also walling to the main gold. Against Byzantines, a couple of skirmishers or archers will still be able to get close to that gold. And you were bringing up, Boxer, a great point about Ivy Daily's additional golds. So Azure Sentry's golds, the main one is now within walls, questionable walls, but it is at least somewhat protected. The second and third golds are way out in the middle of the map. Not literally in the middle, but pretty close to it. So Azure Sentry is going to have a real hard time accessing those golds if Ivy Daily gets any kind of map control. Ivy Daily continuing to wall his base as well, and he has such a lead up time on this feudal age. Are we going to see some aggression? You're the Byzantines expert, Boxer, so what do you do here when you have this big of an advantage in time?
Definitely not at their elo, but you don't have an eco bonus with Byzantines, right? Your eco bonus is you save wood if you're making skirms, right? And you save food. So yeah, I think you start throwing down archers and some skirms and go at it, because the only way to get your eco bonus is to make military. Also, we talked about how easy Azure's base would be to wall, and I think he's done a bad job at it.
He's done. I mean, I don't want. It's bad.
We're missing a wall on the north side. could have easily walled to this gold. Could have walled to some stone on the, kind of the south side, walled there to the wood line, and then back to the base, and you have almost double the amount of space protected that Azure has right now.
And I think even if Azure doesn't feel comfortable going closer to the middle of the map, walling to the town center can be fine here, but I think what's really bugging me is all of these like caterpillar walls that are kind of going around the wood line, around the gold. So just walling from this pond on the right side of Azure's map, walling from that pond to the edge of the map would at least ensure that the main gold is safe. And the funny thing is, Azure has used more than enough wood to do that. Azure has actually spent extra wood with this walling setup that he currently has, and it's kind of like walls to nowhere, a labyrinth of palisades that are becoming obsolete as the new palisades are coming up. And if Ivy Daly had been scouting this a little better, he would know that he should be like full on aggression right now.
So Azure just went through a wall between two houses, or a hole between two houses in Daly's wall. Daly saw it, filled it in, but I believe there's another hole. Yeah, there's another hole.
Another hole
in this huge wall.
Yeah.
Let me see, right here between the barracks and the house, right on the front side. So that'll be a problem moving forward. Daly has opted for some pretty greedy walls, even more than I would have expected, and gained nothing but space. He walled just to some stone that he could have brought in. He walled about 10 tiles away from some gold that he could have brought in if you're going to make walls this large. So I don't know. And he missed out on the tertiary gold that we mentioned earlier.
I think it's really funny, and we should mention that while you were talking about those holes in the walls, Azure found one of those holes by getting a scout up in that base, and Daly, who has made 4 spearmen, did slay that scout. But on the right side of this gargantuan base that Ivy Daly has constructed in his land grab, we have 3 spearmen and 5 completely unupgraded archers from Azure Sentry, and they are marching towards the wall. What are they gonna do? They're attacking it. Okay.
No response from Daly yet. Don't know what he could respond to. They're probably 30 or 40 tiles away from any villager because these walls are so large.
Yeah, Daly's scout has come in behind, but that scout has 3 HP.
So Daly is now responding with a secondary layer of palisade walls and a tower.
Base size immediately halved, and the tower being expended. Even though Daly had invested into these walls, that scout managed to die as well. It just ran past the archers and got killed. So all of a sudden, Azure Sentry actually has quite a bit of counterplay. Interesting.
Azure's about to walk into the tower, sees it, takes a few seconds to respond. He will rush the tower, get up underneath it with his archers and his spears.
Oh my god. You don't need to do this, Azure. But what's Daly? Daly's sending 4 spearmen now.
Who are going to get destroyed by these archers.
Yeah.
Daly is almost to castle, though. Azure, not really close.
Yep,
this tower is going nowhere fast.
Here, right?
Now, Daly just hit castle. Azure knows that. Azure gets a Vil kill. These archers are dead. There's nothing. Even if he tries to walk away, that tower is going to kill him.
Yeah, and I think what's so funny about this, it's a Byzantine tower. So, oh wait, Daly has expelled the villagers and is attacking them. He loses one. Oh no, he was trying to kill the archers with the villagers from the tower. But here come
Knights coming in for Daly.
Easy cleanup now for 2 knights, 2 Byzantine knights. It was just so funny to me. It's a Byzantine tower, so it has 1,326 HP.
Azure can buy up to castle. if he had a market. He doesn't have space for a market in this tiny base he's
He's
made for
still
himself.
leading Palisades, trying to find space. He puts another farm down. This is a zany map, and what I'm laughing about is this is the kind of map that I would build bases that looked like this when I first started playing with Marcelo and VNS Fast and these other high level Vietnamese guys. I was so in over my head. I was always playing the Vietnamese on Arabia, and I would always have bases that looked like this because I was like desperately trying to wall like a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh no, they're broken over here. So I know the feeling that Azure must be feeling here, where you're just like, I'm so cramped in my own base. It's just horrible. Can't even make a market.
Minute 40 from Castle for Azure. Daily already at Azure's base with a couple of knights, a forward monastery that's up, and a siege workshop that now is up. Azure knows nothing about any of that. Obviously, could probably feel the night pressure coming, but
yeah, you know it's coming, and I feel like Daily could be already assaulting with these knights, but I also don't think there's too much harm in waiting for Monk Siege behind it. But the light cavalry from Daily, instead of knights, is an interesting choice. Also getting the second armor, and it looks like, is that the first infantry armor from Azure?
yes, it is. I don't know why. Maybe for the spears because he saw the knights. Probably for the spears because he saw the knights.
Well, he is producing spears. Castle Age now in.
10 archers in the archery range that Daily is now assaulting with knights and scouts. First siege weapon out is a scorpion. A second scorpion will be coming. Scorpion will eat these spears. Spears come.
Armor.
They come to the gate and then decide not to come out. They think better of it.
I think Azure locked the gate. No, it is locked. Oh no! All the crossbows jump out of the archery range. Half of them jump out into the waiting arms of Daily's army. Now the spears come out. 2 villagers come out as well. The gate's open. Daily's holding it open. It's just like that. Oh my god. It was disaster.
26 minutes. 49 seconds.
What a game from Azure. Absolute disaster of a fight at the end for him. You have to feel like he's not going to be happy about that performance. But on the other side, Daily with his gargantuan base, it almost looks comically oversized now based on that finish. But a decisive siege workshop monastery push, he didn't even end up needing the monks.
Barely needed the siege. Really, that comes down to idle TC time. At 26 minutes into the game, Azure Sentry is at 4.5 minutes of idle TC time.
Ooh.
1 TC. Daily is under a minute, 57 seconds. Yeah. And I don't know where the idle TC time came from. I never saw a lot of action from Azure's end. Like, there wasn't a drush. Like, it just maybe he had to have forgotten to click up to feudal or something.
I honestly, what I think it is, I think he spent so much time thinking about his walls that he just was so, like, you can kind of tell sometimes on Arabia when somebody is like just totally lost in the fog. And I think that happened to Azure here. I think he was overthinking his walls for the whole game. And, you know, I think one of the reasons we saw the early GG there is because Azure just feels like he did not play the way he would want to. And I think a part of him just wants to get away from this game, think about the mistakes he made, and come back better next week.
I can see that. He still has resources to fight. 600 food, 500 or 600 wood, 500 food, 100 gold with 8 on gold. I think you could have lasted a bit longer. You've got the wood to make some production buildings to fight off these knights, but definitely it's kind of a snowball at this point. The score's not too bad though. 8,000 point difference.
Well, if Azure, despite all that, if he doesn't idle his town center, he has a villager advantage here right now. But Daly is the winner. Daly takes it with the Byzantines on Arabia against Azure Century's Vietnamese. Daly showing himself to be a strong contender for this bracket. What a match.
Definitely very interesting. That was Daly's. Daly was home, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So I guess good call on Arabia.
Yeah, it looks like he knew he could get it done.
Jimmy's home map of just Crater will be played. Jimmy, home player, decided to play at Crater. Also decided to use his unique civ of Ethiopians. CJ is using one of his backup civs, the Indians, which, as far as backup civs go, not a bad one to have in your pocket. That's where you come in, Mackie, and you say something like, blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 Indian strategy, blah, 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 boom.
Well, I think what would be good to do is just refresh everybody on Crater. Imagine, if you will, a large forest, probably in Russia. And then a crater is there, right? So are you with me so far?
I'm with you. I don't know if everybody else is. But
so basically, in the middle of this map, we have 5 relics in a small area. Surrounding that is a very slightly hilly, sort of circular crater. In that, there is, your standard amount of gold, stone. There's 1 boar per player, and there's berry bushes. Then, around the crater, and if you're not on YouTube, folks, go there right now, because Boxer is drawing everything I'm describing. Around the crater, there is the, as you would expect, ridge that goes down, because you're in a crater. And then if you go outside of that ridge, up above, you're actually on top of the crater, so you're no longer in the crater. That's all forest surrounding, yes, you got it, the crater. Okay? So on the left side of that crater is Jimmy in the green as the Ethiopians, who is just now pulling his boar. And again, this is going to be the only boar on this map. On the right side, CJ as orange, playing the Indians, is just building a mill now on those berries. Now, this is an interesting setup here for Crater, because Jimmy has gotten very lucky. Next to his berries, there is a large patch of ibex, which have 140 food each. There's a total of 8. So his mill is going to be quite efficient. However, he's done something strange. Jimmy has milled the top of the hill. Now, there's something about this hill. You're unable, Boxer, to build on that hill. You can build above it, you can build below it, but you cannot build on the incline whatsoever. So now his villagers are going to be forced to walk down the entire hill, grab some berries, put them in a basket, and walk them all the way back up to that mill. CJ, on the other hand, has been unlucky here. His ibex are quite far away from his mill. So if he wants, he can either do a secondary mill on those ibex, or he can use his scout to push those ibex in to his mill. I don't love either option. I feel like Jimmy has the much better spawn. I think Jimmy has just not had the strongest mill placement here.
CJ just took 2 of Jimmy's sheep from right under his town center. I watched it happen, and I still don't understand how it happened.
That is hilarious.
Almost, I think, in response, Jimmy is now sending at least 1 villager to stone. I'm taking that as like a middle finger from Jimmy, saying, if that's how we're going to be, if we're going to lame sheep, then you're getting tower rushed. I want to believe this was not intentional. Oh, wait, that's a house. Dang it. I was really hoping that was a mining camp. I was really hoping that was a vindictive move to stone for tower rush.
Jimmy playing it cool. Jimmy playing it cool. And what's more, you can tell CJ is so sheep rich at the moment. He's just gone and slaughtered 2 of them at once under his town center. I hope Jimmy watches this and just feels that burning anger in his stomach for the next time he plays CJ.
Definitely
use that anger.
Definitely a flex move. Just flush with sheep. Doesn't even care. Efficiency be damned.
Jimmy does get hits down onto CJ's scout though. All in all, CJ's scout has taken 21 points of damage. It's almost it's around half HP right now, so Jimmy's still full HP. Ooh, good, CJ.
Good scouting by CJ. And as I say that, Jimmy's scout dies to the town center, so we can call that poor scouting pretty easily.
And you want to know why Jimmy's scout died to that town center? There are technically several layers to this error, but the funniest one is that Jimmy was typing. He said, "Lamau, that's for Billy. I hope it was worth it, Jimmy. I hope it was worth getting out that very important message."
Seashell is live in the chat with us and is informing us that this is a very good game.
Yeah, so, I'm really excited for this. Seashell's a man of good taste, so I believe him.
Crater games are usually good. Most of, especially in tournaments, Crater games are very memorable for me. It's such a unique map. You get the relics in the center you can fight over. You've got known wood lines. You know exactly where your opponent's wood line is going to be. Speaking of wood, 11 on wood for Jimmy as he's about to hit feudal. 4 on wood for CJ.
I love just the gross discrepancy in that. And CJ is going for that second mill. He's also housed in his woodcutting villagers. So he's not going to be able to get any more villagers into that wood line. He also doesn't seem to be going for a second lumber camp.
A little bit of a drush going on for CJ. Jimmy's fighting it off with 4 villagers.
I think Jimmy's doing a good job here.
He's about to lose a... Scout's down. He's about to lose a vill. 1 vill down.
Ooh.
So some idle villager time and 1 villager cost.
Yeah. A little more micro there. Jimmy comes out very ahead. But I think CJ's going to be happy with that.
5 scouts in queue for Jimmy.
Ooh.
With one already on the field. So definitely a scout rush coming.
What makes you say that, Boxer? He might just want to keep them in the base for defensive purposes.
He might just want to really scout the rest of this map.
Yeah. Just aggressively scouting the entire game.
I guess we'll stay tuned. We'll let you know how that goes. A barracks up for CJ. Not much else. CJ also with 5 scouts queued. 1's already on the field. So both of them going for 6 scouts. That seems like a large number to me. I would expect 4 to 5. Oh, 3 scouts going along the northern border for Jimmy. Left to right.
I like how he's like, I need to sneak around. And in order to do that, I'm going to go up on the ridge and then like sneak very delicately around. Just in case. And he finds the second mill from CJ right away. Bang.
CJ will definitely lose 1 villager.
Absolutely. There it goes. Jimmy wants more.
2 villagers down.
CJ's trying to fight this. I almost don't. I don't know why.
1 scout down. 3 villagers down. 4th villager will definitely die.
Wow.
It'll be 29 to 25 vills Jimmy's favor. Now CJ's scouts are getting into Jimmy's wood line, but only 2 of them. He does snipe 1 weak vill that got hurt by the drush.
Yeah,
and
nicely
then gets
done.
out. 29-25 vill count now.
When I have a weakened villager, I like to pull it to my town center and build a farm with it, even if it means swapping that out. But I can't say that. CJ is once again harassing Jimmy with these scouts, has 5 scouts on the gold of Jimmy. Vills are scattered in every direction, but now CJ's taking arrow fire from the town center. He doesn't get any villagers yet.
He doesn't lose any scouts either.
Doesn't lose any scouts, but loses a lot of HP on 2 of them. A 3rd is weakened as well. More scouts coming out now. And Jimmy doesn't seem to be. What is this? There are like 9 villagers from CJ just sort of in the middle of nowhere. I think they're trying to get a wood line up, but Jimmy's not actively scouting with his scouts. And what is this? Oh my god, Boxer. Another scout goes down, but I think another Vill was lost by Jimmy there. CJ playing so aggressively, and I can't believe there are no towers on this map right now.
CJ paying special attention to Jimmy's gold, trying to keep him off gold. There are about 12 villagers who just keep going back and forth from gold to town center.
It's very strange, isn't it? This game is very strange. It's one of those things where you start to feel a little insane, but I think a part of it is they just don't know how else to deal with this. Jimmy's like, I need gold. But what about a tower, Jimmy? What about a tower?
Scouts come in again for CJ. They'll run away from one spear. CJ scouts are coming home. He lost 3 that I don't remember where they died at.
I mean, it's hard to keep track of these scouts at the moment because they just keep going. Like, look at this.
Oh.
CJ's once again trying to get in on this gold. Jimmy does have spears, but CJ very smartly bringing forward 3 skirmishers now. Should be able to push these spears away from this gold, but a scout already going down. Mismanagement of the scouts there from CJ as a spear falls.
Jimmy actually has 1 scout on the northeast ridge by himself, probably from the earlier raid.
Yeah.
He'll target a house,
button, folks.
He'll target a house. CJ will of Jimmy's just to wear some time down.
Yep. Do a little bit of additional damage. I don't get the sense that either of these players are in a rush to kill each other. I feel like they both have a sense of the inevitable, though I don't know who is expecting to win here. Jimmy is actually in a pretty significant score lead, but CJ is doing even more eco damage. I just wonder, how did the villagers die at this point? Jimmy's fighting with villagers and not his army. His army is just kind of chilling behind the fight. Now they're coming forward, and CJ runs away.
We haven't mentioned Jimmy's actually switched into archers since this fight broke out. He has 8 archers on the field, 4 scouts, 1 spear. CJ with 3 scouts, 3 spears, and 4 skirmishers. 2 skirms in queue. Neither player looking at castle at all right now.
They're languidly moving towards the next stage here. They're enjoying this crater too much, but I think there has to be a sense of this crater ain't big enough for the both of us. And Jimmy finds a nice fight against 2 skirmishers that were raiding his wood line. That wood line is nicely walled though, including that strange northern, I don't know, I kind of want to call it the northern mill. Like about 10 tiles away from the southern mill.
So they have quite a bit of wood floating. 300 for CJ, almost 300 for Jimmy. Jimmy decides to spend some of that wood on a 3rd archery range.
Yeah, and you know what I find curious about this boxer is that he's not even using the first 2.
Oh, we actually have archers from Jimmy moving to CJ's wood line.
I like this a lot. He did sneak around. There's a chance CJ saw him. A spearman was kind of patrolling in the area, but I think Jimmy might have just snuck through. CJ is pulling his army behind. What is this? More scouts coming forward from CJ. More skirmishers as well. Boxer.
I'm going to go ahead and say CJ did not see those archers.
I don't think he's seen them yet either. He's just losing villagers on his wood line.
He has lost, what, 4 villagers now?
But the opportunity cost there for Jimmy is Jimmy lost his army in the middle. Now CJ's coming forward, and I should mention, CJ's scouts have +1 armor, and his skirmishers have plus one attack, +1 armor, and +1 range. Meanwhile, it's only +1 attack and range for Jimmy's Ethiopian archers. And the fact that those archers are Ethiopian means they fire 18% faster. But Jimmy, once again, being pushed off this gold by CJ's armies. CJ is not relenting here. Where is the defensive tower?
Both players clicking castle within 10 seconds of each other.
Wow.
The house CJ was resting on earlier will now go down.
Yeah, that's why you start that project early. You never know when you're going to actually get to destroy that house. And look at the HP on these scouts. It's kind of shocking. Between the 5 of them, they have less HP than 1 scout combined.
That's true. CJ's committing full on to skirmishers here with 13 skirms on the field to match 19
Indian skirms. But now Jimmy has gone on to stone. He's got 10 on stone at the moment.
CJ getting crazy value out of these 5 scouts that aren't even 5 scouts.
Yeah. And one thing about having armor on your scouts, and one thing about having armor on your scouts is that people think they can get away just killing them with villagers, but villagers do much less damage to them.
Jimmy to castle first. Before the castle bell even finishes, a castle foundation is dropped in CJ's base. Obviously not started, but dropped right on CJ's gold. Within distance, arrow distance of the town center. Very aggressive.
Would love to see this.
With villagers coming over. How many villagers are we talking here? 10. 10 villagers coming in.
It's a good number.
I don't know that this castle is stopped. Archer upgrade already in against CJ's just feudal skirms. They're getting destroyed.
I don't know if Jimmy realizes this, but even with Bodkin Arrow, which is the +2 range upgrade for archers and other arrow units and buildings, his castle is still 1 range away from the town center. The good news is Jimmy has noticed that CJ is trying to get his feudal age army into his woodline, and he's evacuated it out to the right and has moved it quite far away. So hopefully for Jimmy, CJ won't see that. But that castle is up for the Ethiopian player, and he is about to take CJ's gold.
Yeah, CJ just noticed that those villagers disappeared. He's going on the look for them. Or maybe returning home. He should return home.
Let's see what he does here. I think it's a good opportunity to just send your scouts out.
Archery range about to go down in DJ's base. DJ deleted a few farms outside of the castle's range. And for all it is worth, since CJ was bullying gold villagers at Jimmy's base, Jimmy's now stealing his main gold.
Yeah, I do like that.
Siege Workshop
continuing to attack here.
Siege Workshop coming up. CJ still going after the main gold of Jimmy, while Jimmy takes his own main gold.
So crazy. He does get some villager kills, does clean up some scouts here, but I don't think there's much of a push with these skirmishers. I mean, these scouts are so weak. Still, there's only 2 left of them now. Even though there's a dozen skirmishers. Oh wait, Jimmy's not noticing, so he's gonna lose a villager. And now these scouts are just under the town center. Jimmy finally picks off those scouts.
Mangonel coming in for Jimmy at CJ's base. You would expect that. He'll start sieging the town center with that soon. Mangonels can outrange town centers here in Castle. So CJ will have to come underneath Jimmy's castle to actually tackle that Mangonel.
Yeah, that Mangonel is going to be chaos right now. I don't know what CJ has that can contest. It's tough to be Indians going into archers because obviously you want to make camels, but archers just counter them. And now 2 knights, 3 knights only for the Ethiopians. I think they're going to clean up all these skirmishers. No, there's no armor on them. They're getting shredded by these skirmishers. These knights are dying.
2 Mangonels in for Jimmy. A couple of spears are bothering them. And I don't know that Jimmy notices. Up now he does.
Oh
Totally
boy.
taken care of. And that town center is going to go down for CJ. CJ's made his own mangonel in response. Probably a smart response. He'll be able to range it. 3 mangonels now for Jimmy.
That's great. So great. I think Jimmy is building this composition well. He's even repairing his mangonel. Oh, he's hurting his mangonel with his own mangonel.
Second town center on the wood line now for CJ as he evacuates his main base with all of his farms.
And I'm starting to wonder, is this game going out of control for CJ? The score lead has grown a lot. It's pretty amazing.
4,000 to 2,700 in favor of Jimmy.
Oh, and Jimmy kills a mangonel with a very low HP mangonel, then loses his own mangonel to 2 villagers and skirmishers. Still 2 mangonels on the field. CJ's fighting with vills. That's never a good sign this late into the game.
Literally nothing going on at Jimmy's base militarily.
Wow.
He's just streaming archers to the front lines.
3 range crossbows, a siege workshop forward. I think he's stopped making knights now. I don't think he needs them anymore. But CJ trying to hold on with mangonels. A mangonel traded there.
A little bit of micro with those skirmishers.
Yeah, I dig it. Doesn't even... It's being very cheeky here. And it looks like a horse collar just came in for one of the players. CJ's housed. Just another issue for him to deal with. He's got 34 villagers on the same wood line. A second town center coming up near a gold. You know he needs to secure the gold, but can he defend this push right now? Jimmy just needs to sort of get his forces together. And what is Jimmy's plan? Jimmy's getting additional archer armor. So he's getting the +1 archer armor. Trying to dance with his mangonel. Nice trade there from CJ to destroy that mangonel. Needs to buy himself time to get this town center up.
Everything's going in Jimmy's favor right now. Jimmy almost has the resources to go to Imp. I don't know that it helps him right now.
Yeah,
extra range on the archers will be nice for handling these mangoes.
Also getting Thumb Ring. If you don't know, folks, Thumb Ring is a technology in Age of Empires that basically allows your archers to fire faster and gives them 100% accuracy.
Another castle coming down for Jimmy. I guess this would still not range the new TC from CJ, but it would cut off CJ from these existing farms. He's already not using pretty much. So I don't know that this castle does much.
Well, this castle does actually range that town center. It does deny all the farms. It doesn't really deny, it only denies 1 range in terms of production buildings. But the main economy of Jimmy right now is up on this town center that is, remember folks, above the crater on the wood line. That's where the majority of the villages are.
Which
but
Jimmy doesn't
huge value from that mangonel.
Jimmy doesn't know that that town center exists, but he's looking right now with archers. He knows there's got to be something else.
Right. Boy, that castle was at 70 HP for a little while there. Made me nervous. There was mangonels underneath it, but it's getting later into the game, and Jimmy basically found a moment where CJ wasn't paying attention. Jimmy killed 2 mangonels with his own, and that pretty much is what's allowing him to continue building this castle. However, he's failed to micro his mangonel after that, has 2 more knights on the field, but still no armor. So these skirmishers are still killing those knights. what should be an easy cleanup, Jimmy has made quite complicated for himself here. Is he going to get this up? I don't know, because now there's so much army here from CJ. A camel even coming out. The castle's at 92%, 93. CJ's not microing this either, though. A huge Mangonel shot. It's at 99%. Come on, just finish it, Jimmy. Oh my god, he loses all the villagers, brings more forward, and it's up. There goes the Mangonel from CJ. CJ says, how? Yeah, CJ, it's because you didn't micro for most of that. CJ calls GG.
Wow, I really thought that would go on a little bit longer. I didn't think that second castle was the victory condition here, but
I mean, you could see like both Jimmy and CJ lost a lot in that fight, but I think CJ is just like, you know what, I'm out of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. The score lead is kind of scary. I can't see that now. 3,800 to 5,600. Well, I mean, he basically owns Jimmy's main gold between scouts and skirms.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's tough. And at this point in the game, you can't remove Jimmy from this grip that he's got, and you know you're not hitting his eco, so you can't give somebody like that the upper hand and just not put any pressure on the eco.
Yeah, and I think if somebody shows themselves to be a player who isn't really paying that much attention, or is letting the foot off the gas a lot, you kind of can hope that you find enough of like a time window to get back into the game and back into a position where you can maybe win. But I think CJ is feeling confident on Jimmy's behalf that Jimmy can close this one out here. Crater, it's very hard to get to hide on Crater. It's a circle, folks.
Yep. Yeah, it's hard to sneak much. KD 105 to 88, Jimmy's favor. Again, Jimmy's map, Jimmy's unique civ. It's good to see those kind of things add up and work. Any closing thoughts before we jump into the next game?
I would like to see some Showtell Warriors. But I think this just shows the importance of gold on a map like Crater, where it's very hard to get a huge eco that can pump out trash. So not having gold, I mean, it's so tough for CJ from this point on.
Right. So looking at our schedule, next game will be our our only Karambit Conference game. Since Champollion forfeited to Duke Canada. This will be Mike versus GunnerGates, a match that I've got high hopes for in the best possible way. And the home map of Super King Man himself, Mike Jet 22, Budapest. Just as chaotic and crazy as he is, I would expect nothing less.
Last time I played this map in a competitive tournament situation was against Kalatchit in the Fiverr Cup of Fun. I should have won that. End of story.
Mike Jet is definitely a fan favorite, playing not his unique civ, the Goths, but Byzantines. GunnerGates not playing his Italians, but playing Khmer or the Khmer, if you want to be.
Thank you.
A little more condescending.
If you were to talk to a Cambodian person, then you'd probably want to say Khmer. That's all I'm saying.
If you talk to a Japanese person, I wouldn't call them Japanese either. So
I would call them. What would you call them? I call them Fred or Alfred or George or whatever their real name is.
I think they call themselves Nihon Jin.
Is that true?
That is true.
Is it spelled Nippon?
Nihon, Nihon.
Okay, I was making a wild.
How you would?
I was trying to seem smart.
Anglicize it.
It failed. Okay, that's good.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, just from now on, Nihonjin would be great. Thank you.
And what about the Byzantiumese?
Actually, they prefer Romans. They consider
The
themselves
Romans.
the extension of the Roman Empire.
This is poser Romans. A bunch of poser Romans over here.
They're actually literally the Roman Empire.
Posers.
Anyway, Khmer and Byzantines. But that's not even the most interesting thing here. The most interesting thing is Budapest. If you have not played it, both players start with 2 TCs, 2 scouts, twice the number of normal villagers. Is that correct?
Yes.
So 6.
And scouts.
So the hard thing here is to keep these things moving. We're at 4 minutes, 20 seconds. We already have 2 minutes and 3 minutes of idle TC time from these players, which is fairly, which isn't bad. It's not. I don't think that's bad.
25% idle.
It is, but you've got an extra TC. So actually,
it's tough.
Actually, they're doing pretty good. Common thing to do here, I think. You go ahead and get. Dang it! What's the villager upgrade?
Loom.
I thought it was like cloth or something. You get loom.
Oh, you get cloth armor.
You do not. Question from Jimmy: do you start with more food? No, you do not start with more food.
You start. Yeah, you start with the normal amount of food, which makes you feel fine, until all of a sudden you are idling both town centers and wondering what went wrong.
It basically feels like a 4-player map with 2 players. So you've got 2 sets of berries, 2 sets of boars, 2 sets of deer, 2 sets of main gold, so on and so forth. The map also looks similar to 4 lakes. You literally have 4 lakes here with quite a bit of fish in them.
And I think that just makes it more complicated, because then you're asking yourself, you know what's more fun than idling 2 town centers? Idling 2 town centers and 2 docks.
Yeah, in my experience, you struggle with food on the front end, but once you hit feudal age, you're just flush with food. Like it's almost a default fast castle if you're not careful, especially if you get on the fish early. But
I've seen some higher,
You're much better at this map than I am. What's your approach when you jump into? How do you keep 2 TCs functioning?
Well, basically what I like to try and do is ban this map whenever possible. When that's not feasible, what I like to do is just go. You basically just focus on the most important thing first, which is making sure you are gathering food and force dropping it to maintain your TCs. It's pretty amazing to see how poorly some players macro their economy setup here. Mike Jet, it looks like he's doing a great job because he doesn't have a lot of resources in the bank right now, but he has 8 villagers queued up, which means he's probably gone too much on food. I know that Mike likes to go docks here. He's actually already built 2 docks. What he could have done is taken some off of food, put them on wood, and have those docks earlier and running faster. A lot of this, though, comes down to mindset. If you're GunnerGates, you have to be thinking to yourself, why on earth did Mike pick this map? I hate this map. He's Byzantines. What is he going to do to me? Right?
And you can tell that Mike's more comfortable with it. He's at 3 minutes of idle time. Gunner is at 7 minutes of idle time and is currently idling both of his TCs. He did for a few seconds. Gunner's clicked up to feudal already. Mike is still moving. Just to give you guys a sense of what's going on, we're at 10 minutes, and Mike has 46 villagers. Gunner has 37 at 10 minutes.
That's wild. That's wild. It's almost a 10-ville lead, and I love this. The classic Mike Jet just slapping down, what is this, 7 houses, trying to make a house wall. And I think...
With a hole in it, by the way. With 2 holes in this house wall.
2 holes. 2 holes that could have been filled if he had placed his houses properly. But the thing about Mike, and the reason that so many people think that he is a very sexy guy, is because he has the balls to pick Budapest as his home map. He's not afraid to commit to something. This is a guy that works out. This is a guy that rides the recumbent bike on stream. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to go hard, and that's what he's doing. He's too docked Budapest. He hasn't even docked his safest pond because he likes danger. He's roaming forward with his scouts.
Going hard is
GunnerGates
accurate.
is just idle everywhere.
Mike is about to go hard in the paint. 60 vills against not even 40 for Gunner.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal. 20 vil lead, and they're not even in Castle Age.
This is what I was most excited about with our Civ draft, or with our map drafts, was this kind of a one-sided strategy. And Gunner, I think, can feel it. And he's throwing down stone walls to keep Mike out. A pretty easy map to wall.
Funny. So funny.
There's only about 2 or 3 spots where you have to wall to get your base completely walled in. One thing I'll note, Mike's strategy, as we zoom out to the top level, there are 4 pawns on this map. Usually a pawn behind you, a pawn behind your enemy, and then 2 pawns. We'll call them neutral pawns. Mike has docked the neutral pawns, and he has not docked his own pawn. Whereas Gunner has docked his own pawn, but not the neutral pawns. Gunner's just now, at 13 minutes, docking a neutral pawn. Whereas Mike's been there the whole game. That's smart, and I think that's strategic.
Yeah, I think one issue that Mike has had this game though is he doesn't have as much fish as I would like. I think that's probably because of his really slow APM. He's pretty old, so not that he can't have a high APM. I think that he just spends too much time stroking his beard with his left hand. So
Mike,
if he was to stop doing that, he would have double the fishing ships right now.
Mike just hit feudal. He already has the resources for castle. I assume he's going to... Yep, there they go. Archery range, blacksmith, market. He'll go to fast castle immediately. Gunner could go to castle if he sold some food. But I don't know what he's doing.
He's on stone. Gunner is.
I think he's on stone.
Mike. Mike has 12 on stone.
I think he's on stone. I think Gunner's on stone for these walls. Mike clicks to castle. Expected that. Gunner still not going to castle. Mike's going to castle with 72 vills. Gunner's just a 48.
Yeah, so Mike going up with a 24 vil lead. He has less idols than Gunner as well. The only thing Gunner is doing well is Gunner has killed presumably one of Mike's scouts. So, not that you can find a lot of damage with your scouts here. One thing I really like to do is I like to pair up my scouts. So there's 2 of them. And then I go around looking for trouble. Because it's so hard to manage 2 town centers, potentially 1, 2, or even 3 docks, and 2 scouts separately all at the same time. Budapest is a great map for... Oh, hold on a second. Mike with the 2 barracks is producing spears. So this is what I want to see. What is he going to do with his economy lead? He has 1,200 stone. Is he going to try and kill Gunner fast? Or is he going to try and get to his final form with some kind of cataphract situation?
I want to go back to your dual scout comment, because that's helpful as we see a Vil go down for Gunner with the lone scout that Mike got behind his walls. I think the 2 scouts is smart, because I feel obligated on this map to basically try to run 2 town centers and 2 scouts. And that's a good idea to keep them together, because you almost have an early scout rush if you find something you can get into.
Yeah, exactly. There's the castle age for Mike. He's only 10% ahead, so Gunner's about to hit castle.
But Gunner coming into castle at 15 minutes of vital TC time across 2 TCs. Mike with 5 minutes. Forward siege workshop for Gunner. He's expecting to play super defensive with the Chimera against what is a defensive Civ in the Byzantines for Mike.
Yep.
Mike dropping a castle. This castle will knock out 1 gold from Gunner. Map control wise, Gunner has taken more map with these walls. But
yeah.
But Mike's going to push him back and not really let him use it.
Yeah, and I think the big thing about that comment there is once this castle goes up, Mike will be denying one of Gunner's 3 golds. Oh no, sorry, Gunner has 4. That castle's denying one of Gunner's 4 golds. He was pushing Gunner off of another gold on the right-hand side of Gunner's base, but Gunner is now getting up a defensive castle, which will secure that gold. It'll kind of prevent Mike from pushing in on the right side, and maybe even give Gunner a place to push in through. However, Mike's castle's up first. Mike is making some army. But, I mean, this is where the strategy, I think, for Mike starts to fall apart a little. He has pikemen trying to break through a stone gate. Where's the siege? Where's the push?
I don't know if you noticed this. 2 things. Number 1, Mike has an extra gold and an extra stone at the back of his base that Gunner does not have. Secondly, Gunner has a Vil behind Mike's base, behind the walls, already put his stable and a house up.
Oh, Gunner.
So we could see that could be key. So we'll put a pin in that. Hidden Vil, sneaky base behind Mike. Obviously, Mike has no idea that's back there. I'd love to see that come into play.
That's fantastic. I have no idea how he got that there. I don't think it was any kind of transport. I think he just walked it through.
Probably just walked it. Mike has upgraded his spearmen to pikes based off of no scouting information at all. Gunner has no military.
Gunner's making knights, though.
He just now has 1 knight that came out.
Yeah.
Mike has 20 pikes.
But here's the funny thing. Where's that knight? The knight is behind enemy lines.
He is. He absolutely is. With a second stable coming up. Now he's got to be careful. Mike's dropping a town center back there.
He does have to be careful. He could get spotted out early. Going for a second stable. I think the fact that Mike has gone pikes is bad, but it's funny. If you distract Mike, I think he only gets stronger. So.
And the Byzantines get free town watch. So Mike can see basically. Oh, Mike can see a house. Mike can see 1 back house.
Will he notice it though?
Yeah, that's. I guess let me rephrase that. Mike has 1 blue house behind his base within his line of sight. I don't know that means Mike sees it.
Yeah, but this might encourage his peripheral vision to spot something. The villager is now actually within sight, and this is kind of shocking how far the Byzantines can see. That villager is just sort of. You can see it's building stuff.
But he's hammering away. He's hammering away at something. Mike's already clicking to Imperial. When he gets there, he'll get. Will he get an extra line of sight? Or is that just
no? Because he gets town watch and town patrol for free.
Okay, so there he goes.
Basically, he already has both of them.
As the villager finishes that stable, it kind of comes into view.
Yeah.
Again, within the line of sight, but is it within the vision? I see no response from Mike, so I'm thinking Mike is not paying attention to that mini-map.
Well, he grabbed those village. So this is something I do think about because we obviously have a subconscious and a conscious brain. So how many cues, let's just say, out of the corner of your eye, in your periphery, you say something strange is going on the mini-map, but it doesn't seem strange enough for you to do anything about it. You just see a couple of blue dots on your mini-map. Then you grab some vills from that town center. Eventually, you have to feel like enough clues are going to come in. Some part of Mike is going to go, maybe I should just peek at my whole map and just see if anything's happening. Because, I mean, at this point, there's a house, a stable, and a villager all within sight of Mike. And he hasn't done a thing.
Mike is almost at a 20,000 score lead. With total KD, no. Total deaths on this map are 9.
2,000 folks.
Oh, 2,000, my bad. 2,000 score lead.
That would be so. I almost believed it. I was like, sure, Budapest, man. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen on Budapest. 2,000 score lead with only 9 deaths across all of them.
Hilarious. It's so funny to me that Mike is now in Imperial Age, has a 3rd castle coming up, Like it's hilarious. He's playing. Oh my God, Boxer. The knights from Gunner are coming in, but there's 3 stables, but there's only 5 knights.
And
And they're
Mike
not even
has.
upgraded. They have 1 armor. Mike sees it now.
Yeah, why would
Garrison's
you
three
not?
four
Why would
villages.
you not upgrade those? Fully upgrade those. And you could have masked them. You're not pumping out your TCs that much. You could
I
have
can't
gone
believe
one
it.
TC and just like went all in with this.
I can't believe it. Mike sends 2 camels in to deal with them. Both camels are now dead.
2 more camels coming.
2 more camels.
Gunner went ahead and got fortified wall. Beautiful Khmer fortified walls, by the way. I don't know that I've seen those before.
Yeah, they look great. I've seen them in real life, actually.
Treb coming in for Mike on the front lines. A couple of knights running through Mike's back base.
Mike's camels are more upgraded than Gunner's knights.
I'm ready to call this one for Mike, but Gunner
it's
is
like a
not.
60 mil lead.
It's 125 vills for Mike, 62 for Gunner. And Gunner's on 3 TCs, but just not producing. Literally all 3 TCs idle right now.
Gunner's APM is not Gunner's strong suit, right? Budapest is like the worst map for him, I feel. And I like it because it's forced Mike to get his APM up. Mike has actually done a decent job here. I think he's focused so hard. Oh, Boxer, that villager in the back lines finally goes down to camels for Mike. But I feel like he's just doing everything. Like he's got like a couple stables, a couple barracks, an archery range. I'll upgrade everything, you know.
I guess that's fair. I was trashing the pikes, but he's also got 12 skirmishers as well. So he was just ready for whatever. He was just here.
He's ready.
He was
Ready
here
for
to
whatever,
party.
but like he's kind of like ready for everything and nothing at the same time. Because it's kind of like, yeah, I've got 2 camels, I've got 5 skirmishers, I've got 10 pikes. Gunner at any point could have been like, I have an actual army on like that I'm gonna come kill you with now.
And you talk about trickle treb. Mike has 2 trebs on either side of the map, just hitting random things. Walls,
yeah, just hitting walls,
mighty
just walls,
gaps, a
towers.
castle.
Yeah. I think what's great about this though, okay, so Mike, this is what I'm saying though, right? When Mike gets distracted, he becomes stronger. Like now he actually has focused on something that he has to kill. So he's killing this sort of hidden base from Gunner. The siege workshop is down and he's moved on to more. He's making more camels. But what this is doing is it's buying Gunner time to do what Gunner does best, which is just survive. I'm not even gonna say boom. I'm not gonna say turtle. I'm gonna say just survive. And he's making siege workshops. He's got 6 siege workshops. Boxer.
Gunner is committing to walls everywhere. We
Everywhere.
have, depending on where you attack from, you're either going to hit 1 line of walls or 4. So that's interesting.
His base is open now that castle goes down. I don't think Mike is trying to get in though. He could also build transport ships and just get in.
He does have 20 camels he could push in there. Those 20 camels are chasing down 3 knights who are just trying to get out.
This AI army streaming after GunnerGates' 3 knights here. I mean, oh, there's 4 actually. One of them is deep within the camel mass, and it's going to die now for sure.
Mike now has a galley. He has a feudal galley in Imperial Age.
See, Mike is one of those homeowners that buys a house, starts 30 projects over the course of 15 years, and then takes 30 years to finish them all. And then he like steps back and the masterpiece is finished and then he sells his house.
And then Gunner is just the neighbor who just has to stare at it. He's like, what the hell is going on? Alright, we now have the first Treb shot on one of Gunner's town centers.
This is satisfying action though.
Not really any unified Treb battles, just one Treb.
Okay, so there was actually a hole in Gunner's base, but Gunner has since patched it up. Mike Jet making another castle. Yeah, his...
I don't think he patched it. I think you can still get in behind that mill.
Maybe, actually. I think you're right. That deer just did it. The deer just did it. Oh my god. Which is so funny to me because, like, in the meantime, Mike has 20 camels attacking a fortified wall on the left side. He's in no rush. He's in no rush. He's like, this is my evening. This is my whole evening, is this one game. I'm in no rush.
One town center down for Mike. Mike's at 200 pop. Gunner is at 86 pop. Gunner's going to Imperial Age.
Gunner's just giving up on making vills. Like what is he doing? He's just focusing on making walls. He's making a lot of scorpions though.
Gunner needs Wonder Victory. If we enabled Wonder Victory, God. Gunner might have a shot here. He looks like he would be good at it.
I mean, I feel like Wonder Victory should be allowed.
Maybe we'll put it to a vote.
Yeah, because this game technically is standard victory.
Okay, almost in on the left side for Gunner. This wall is at 220 HP. The wall is gone right as Gunner puts up 2 new walls.
Gunner spends all of his thought power deciding on where to wall next strategically.
And here's the thing.
Mike is trying to kill a villager with a trebuchet.
All Mike has to do is hit one tree with that treb, and he can run right in.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there are so many things. He still has those. I can only assume the same pikes, which are now upgraded to halbs, attacking that same fortified gate on the left.
Bless
for
these
the
pikes.
Entire game.
They've got this fortified gate down to half HP.
Could you imagine how terrible that job would be? Like, okay, your job for the entire war is to sit here and try and break this one wall with a spear.
It's like, y'all got hammers or anything? No. Oh, and
no, just use your spears. And then one dude shows up and tries
builds
to build it.
in.
And they're like, call in the Air Force. And the galley's like, I got you. Fire the shot. And then you just die to scorpions halfway through the war.
Scorpions. All because your commander forgot about you. He didn't tell you could leave.
Hilarious. Hilarious. That's the problem. See, these halbs, like they lost all of their training opportunities because they were just stuck at the front. So Duke, when it came time for actual combat, they had no idea what to do.
Duke Canada says in the chat, at least those guys are safe. 1 minute later.
Yeah,
okay, never mind.
He said that literally as the scorpions were walking up. It's like, oh no. But Mike's through. He's through, and then he blocks the hole with this trap. So poor halbs, man. To be a Byzantine halberdier is a horrible job. 10 halberdiers now isolated behind enemy lines in GunnerGates. Mike Jet now has just put 4 trebs in, and there's one villager of Gunner trying to make it. Oh no, he's dead.
And I think Gunner has abandoned making vills. He doesn't care.
Gunner has abandoned this game. He's getting chemistry, and he's also getting his unique tech. For the Khmer, the unique tech is the one that allows you to shoot double projectiles for your ballista elephants and your scorpions. It's called double crossbow. It's actually not that expensive.
All right, camels coming in against 20 scorpions. 20 heavy scorpions.
I mean, it's not bad, honestly, except that castle's down. I think things are just, it's such a rough, Gunner's not microing his army at all. A little bit here now. But the unique tech is in. Those, I mean, they're doing a lot of damage. I just don't think that they were microed.
Second and third TC down for Gunner. Gunner has a 1 TC. Mike is just in.
Mike's in. And every game I've ever seen Mike play on this map, almost every single game, he has gone for a heavy longsword rush that just eliminates town centers. It's been so fun to watch him get to Imperial Age to see what does Mike like to do when he's an imp on this map. He's flooding in now. There's not really anywhere for Gunner to go because of these gigantic lakes on the sides.
So what can be neat about this map is you can have a little bit of naval pressure on the sides. We kind of saw that as Mike had 1 galley, But you could imagine you bring in um, some larger ships, cannon galleons, to take out some of the castles, some of the buildings on the edge. That was not done here. Gunner making even more walls to wall off the safe part of his base. Safe part of his base has a population of 34 villagers.
He's in the corner. He's in the. How do I visually describe this for the listeners? He's walled himself into a corner. However, there is a large body of water on either side of that corner, and Mike controls both of those large bodies of water. On top of that, it is, in theory, on top of that is one layer of fortified wall against 4 trebuchets on one side and 1 trebuchet on the other side. Mike just valiantly assaulting these walls with his halberdiers, though, consistently throughout this game.
He knows what he's about.
He knows what he's about. That's a great
Look at
way
this.
to put it.
We have one villager from Mike mining a gold that's like 20 tiles away from her mining camp. All right, here we go. Big time. 25 scorpions in formation. Just shredding these halbs hitting his wall. That'll show him.
My Gunner, come on, get some APM going. Have an energy drink before you play these, man.
The thing is, if he brought those scorpions over here, Mike's through the wall on the right, and these villagers are not gonna be fast enough to stop it. They're in.
There's just no way, right?
This is where you want the scorpions. You might have been able to wipe this army, and he might still. Scorpions coming up these heavy camels. Oh, brutal! It's brutal. It's like a machine gun.
Why?
We just lost 20 camels. And he's going to do it again. Oh. I've absolutely never seen this destruction before.
I'm watching the instant replay, and it is just gruesome. It is gruesome.
Just leveling Mike's army. Gunner's taking no damage and just shredding camels and
Gunner's
alike.
not playing to win at this point. He's just playing. So he's like, come beat me.
He's not even microing. These scorpions are just doing their own thing.
He's probably just watching. I feel like both of these players are just watching the game at this point. like it's not even their game. Probably talking. Yep. They probably have a flip phone.
Mike's not moving these trebs at all. He's just streaming units in.
And if he continues to do this, they're all just gonna die. And if they all just die, he's gonna run out of gold. And if he runs out of gold, I mean, we're talking, 3 hours game time into the future. He runs out of gold. Gunner could still have these 20 heavy scorpions with double crossbow.
Gunner could easily just he's got a kill zone on. He's got a choke point.
Oh yeah, I would love to see him put fortified walls around his scorpions, and then say, "Bring it."
There's the game. Gunner says, "F this map," with a GG, and then Mike
with a GG. He said GG first. To be fair,
52 heavy scorpions made for Gunner.
I feel like Gunner's APM grew 3 sizes that day because Budapest forces you, because you want to be competitive. You're stoked for the match. You get in there and you're like, oh my god, I have to do this. It's like boot camp. It's like APM boot camp. And Mike won APM boot camp early.
I haven't seen Gunner in the chat. I wonder if he
just showed up.
Gunner, have you ever played this map before? Was this your first introduction to Budapest?
Yeah, we're just going to do a quick interjection here for a live interview with one of the players. We have GunnerGates in the chat with us here. I'm not going to read out his first comment. It's quite vulgar. If you want to see the gritty details, folks, you got to come to twitch.tv/BoxerSaint, where every week we record the Kings of Age podcast live for you. And Gunner says he played 1 practice game on Budapest.
Did it go like this? I'm going to assume it did not go like this. That's a rough introduction to this map. I remember the first
I
time I
agree.
saw this map, and it's you start out, you feel like you're behind because you're not keeping your TC producing.
Yep.
You eventually realize you got tons of food around, and by the time you realize that, your opponent is in feudal. Actually, Gunner went to feudal first this time, but um, it's just a weird map, and it's not like anything else. It's not like any other map.
I
Gunner,
mean,
Gunner says he was expecting Goss here.
I can understand that. I think that it was really interesting of Mike to go Byzantines. It it was fun to see a different play style from him here. Um, I'm really excited to see him fine tuning. Fine tuning sort of gives you that idea of like shoring up some of the smaller technicals and weaknesses, right? What is like the opposite of fine tuning in terms of scale, where it's like there's like major glaring errors and blunder that are being made?
Getting good.
Yeah, I'd like to see Mike get good, and where if he gets good, I think he could take this into the playoffs. I think he could take this style into the playoffs and do well. I really liked Gunner's counterplay. Man, it makes me I like this. Gunner says massive overhaul. Um, I could see Gunner requiring a massive overhaul if he was going to play this map again. But I would love to see Gunner on his home map against Mike Jet. I hope that it is some glorious revenge for him. No bias. No bias, obviously.
Definitely get the sense that Gunner is not gonna come to the next matchup and hold anything back at all.
Yeah. And I hope he doesn't. I just want to say my favorite comment of that game was right near the end. This was around the time where Gunner had walled himself into a corner and wasn't really doing anything. When Captain Zhao just says, riveting gameplay from Gunner. Wow, that was a fantastic match, though. I think it was all that it promised and more. Um, dang, score was 16,212 for Mike Jet to 6,028 for Gunner.
That was fun. Thanks for playing that,
Right.
Gunner. I know that
Yeah,
was
thank
hard.
you, Gunner. And despite that insane score lead, listen to this KDA. Mike killed 103 units that game, and he lost 137. So Gunner still came away with a higher KDA.
Those are standard Byzantine numbers, though. That's how you win
True,
with Byzantines.
true. Just flood it.
All right, Mackie, on to Mangle Lord and 95 bricks.
Fantastic. I've been looking forward to this game as well a lot. I keep saying that. I look forward to all these games. They've all been great today. They were all great last week. From Azure and Daly to Jimmy and CJ through that monstrosity that was Gunner, Gates, and Mike Jet. We now have Mangalord and 95 Bricks. Boxer, which conference are these fellows from?
We are now into the final conference, our lowest conference, the Berserker Conference.
So, one of the new catchphrases I want to run by you, Boxer, is less hard.
It's what?
Less hard.
Less hard.
So the Berserker Conference is the lowest ELO bracket. However, it doesn't mean it's not hard. It's just less hard. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
maybe. It could
just
be it could be harder
it
because
could be harder.
they
Yeah,
they
exactly.
don't they're not more skilled opponents. They're not facing more skilled opponents, but they are facing more random opponents, right?
Very much so.
I feel like it's easier to plan if you're King Zondar and Captain Zhao. I feel like it's harder to plan if you are Green Bay Burger, Mingo
Yeah.
Lord, 95 bricks.
Well, it's like Gunner in the last game, right? Playing against Mike Jet, who's famous for being the Goths. So Gunner told me he saw his game against Azure that didn't technically happen on Budapest, and Mike went Goths. So Gunner went Khmer, figuring out that Scorpions counter Goths. However, in his opinion, he felt like the Byzantines were countering his Khmer playstyle. So it even comes down to mind games and things like that. And I mean, you talk to these guys. Like I talked to Mango a few times as he was practicing for this. Right, he was coming and asking me for tips. Yeah, me for tips. That's right, folks. Um, Bricks, on the other hand, you were practicing with him the other day, and he's a very strong player. He doesn't necessarily have maybe the APM or the micro or the perfect macro that some of the higher level players would. But strategically thinking, he puts a lot of thought into what he does, and he creates solid plans in his games.
So Bricks bringing in a boar, Mango bringing in a boar. This is Mango's home map, Land Madness. This is
what is this map? Because this map gives me a headache.
Map. Have you not played Land Madness? Or are you asking for
I was trying to lead you in.
Okay, well, okay.
Boxer, I played every map.
And I was going to be very surprised if you hadn't. Anyway, I'm not going to the map yet. Mango Lord playing Franks. That was Mango's unique civ. I believe Mango got first pick, if I recall, in the draft. So this was the very first civ chosen, taken off the board. Franks.
I think that's hilarious. Also,
versus Bricks playing the Bulgarians, which is one of his secondary civs. Back to Land Madness. Land Madness is a map that I hate. You have imagine Arabia with less hills, and then you have pockets of trees around which, I mean, how many trees we got here? 45 trees. 40, anywhere from 40 to 60 trees in these pockets, and around them you just can't build. It's that stupid gravel stuff, and it makes you cannot water your wood lines. You just have to have regular walls or no walls. Absolute pain, disgusting, hate it.
Yep.
Not fun. We have a scout fight behind Bricks' base. Mango's gonna lose that fight and try to get out of there.
I mean, you can already see that this game is going to be so good. Like, Bricks just, like, Mango's scout just sort of stops in between the TC and lumber camp of Bricks and just waits. Bricks' scout slowly trots up and then just hits it. And then a villager walks out to fight it as well. Then Mango Lord, like, kind of deftly micros his scout like it's a Matrix scout. But, like, it's just allowing Bricks to catch up faster. But you're kind of like, okay, these players are getting like a feel for each other here. I don't know if these players have ever played each other before. I don't even know if these guys know each other, to be honest. So, I mean, Mango's already walling in his wood line. But he's actually walling the villager out. So, yeah, okay, this is great. I'm loving this, man.
Yeah, you can do some small walls on your wood lines, and that's the best you're going to get, which is good against Drush, obviously bad against archers. What I love about this format is these players will only play each other twice throughout this 16-week period. This will be their first matchup, and it's not even a best of 3. It's just a one game. You get one swing at this player to see what you've got.
Yep, and speaking of swings, Boxer Saint is still swinging.
There you go.
Was that a good... That's pretty seamless, right?
Nope, it wasn't. I don't think you know what seamless means. Scout fight back on. Mango loses that scout. Bricks runs away with 7 HP.
You know what I say to myself, Boxer, when I see Bricks kill that scout for Mango? I can't help but feel Bricks is thinking to himself, man, he's taking the carrot.
If that's one of your phrases, I wouldn't do that one.
I wrote it down and everything. I even put an exclamation mark next to it and put it in quotations because I need to make it sound like... You notice how I made it sound like Bricks is the one that's thinking that?
Just put a red line through it. That means don't do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a little star.
Mango
is going next to this.
Mango first to feudal. What was a 21 pop feudal? Now 20 that the scouts did. Bricks on the way to feudal, 21 pop. Very similar idle TC time, 55 seconds, minute and 8.
I just want to quickly ask the listeners and viewers a question. It's widely accepted that we go up on 21 pop if we're going for archers. But have you ever tried going up on 20 pop if you're going archers? Think about it. Back to you, Boxer.
All right. Bricks has no idea where Mango's at. Mango fully scouted Bricks' base before his scout went down. Bricks has a man-at-arms rush that's just going somewhere. Just looking.
It's all over. It's all over the map.
Just looking in the opposite direction. Bricks' scout should find something. There you go. Found a house. Let's see how quickly these men-at-arms come back. 5,
yeah, and I think Bricks is really starting to realize that just because someone takes the carrot doesn't mean you can just give them the stick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a little better. It's a little bit. All right, now the men-at-arms are coming back. Now they're coming back. Scout for Mango Lord on one of Bricks' Goldvilles.
Yeah. It is so tough to scout for your opponent and send your Drush there and defend from scouts at the same time. Bricks is doing all of it at once right now. How well is he going to execute? Spear from Bricks, though.
Yep, spear for Bricks. A
Kills
little
one of those scouts.
little bit of idle time on the TC for Mango as he's managing this mini scout rush. Men-at-arms coming in for Bricks. Yep. Straight to the town center. And dead.
Man, that was like the worst.
All 3 dead. They spent more time scouting than they did fighting.
That was probably the worst men-at-arms strategy that I've ever seen, which is not literally true because I have personally done that before, where it just feels so bad. You're like, I can't fight him, and then like. Did my Drush ever make it to the town? You're like, oh yeah, they're there, they're dead. Oh, okay, well.
So no villagers are dead. Bricks has a couple that are hurting. Mango will use that last scout to, I guess, just go scout. Bricks has a 4 HP scout that's just hitting a wall on the wood line. And Mango's actually repairing that wall instead of just punching him.
You could just delete it and kill the scout.
Yeah.
But I think like what I love about this game so far is you can see the players. It's like a chess match. You can see them moving. You can see them going for an advantage, and then you can see them getting foiled. Like the action is just slowed down a little bit, especially because it's Land Madness. I feel like it's hard to get comfortable on this map. But one thing I find interesting here, Mangalore as the Franks taking berries like way out here and not getting punished for it. I have played this map a couple times. Going out for those forward berries can be really nice. You just have to be making sure you're protecting them with spears, which Mango is not currently doing, but he is building a blacksmith. Does have 5 on gold as well, but is he close to Castle Age? He is actually not that far.
Even with the berries, wouldn't you prefer the hunt out here over the berries?
Well, as the Franks, you're getting a what is this, 15% boost on your foragers. So it's actually not bad. I'm not sure what the math is comparing it to Ibex, but I think given the positioning, I mean, you could mill those 7 Ibex behind your base if you're Mango Lord. That would be really nice because they'd be a little safer. And in total, there'd be more food, so you have to build less mills. But I don't hate what Mango's doing. It seems to be working for him. He's clicked up to Castle Age. He's almost 10% of the way there. Bricks is coming in with more scouts, but Mango finally did delete that wall and kill that scout. But here come the reinforcements for Bricks. Mango patches the wall in time, though. Oh, but that gold's wide open, and Bricks sees it. What's he going to do? Is he going for it?
He's just doing a little bit of scouting. Just checking out the rest of Mango's base.
Yeah, that's what Bricks likes to do with his armies. He likes to scout with them and then just into them under the town center. Oh, he's actually getting some damage in on this wood line, though, now.
That villager should go down. There it goes.
Yeah.
First villager kill of the game. Overall, KD is 4-4. Isn't too bad.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Was
Compared
that
to
stable
like,
deleted, or did Bricks just knock it out? I think Bricks just knocked it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Wood count for Mango is still really high, so even if he did just knock it out, I don't think it's. Yeah, I had a game today where somebody hit a house.
Oh no, this gold. It's not
Yeah,
walled in.
that's not good.
Those villagers are not making it out of there.
Yeah, in this you just delete your mining camp and just run them out.
Mango doesn't know what to do. Mango,
he's getting some shots off.
There we go. Deleted the house.
Deletes the house. That's actually not bad if he can get the vills out, but Bricks is trying to micro this vill down, and
Mango also idled every farmer because of these 3 scouts.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
And they're still inside. Now they're coming out. Bricks just picked up
Bricks
the
has
castle.
A score lead. But yeah, Bricks up the castle now, huh? Knight's coming out though from Mango. Mango currently sitting on 2 stables.
Scalebarding coming in for Mango. That puts Mango out of food. Oh, there's enough for a villager now. And the villager not coming in. Idle TC. Idle TC. Coming on 4 minutes of idle TC for Mango. There's a villager.
So, Boxer, where do you think the advantage lies at this moment? Because it's kind of hard for me to tell.
Just looking at the map and the layout, you want to lean Mango, but having played Bricks, and if I remember, Mango just kind of came out of the 900 elo. I think Mango in the last month broke 1,000. I don't know how this doesn't go to Mango. I mean, I don't know how this doesn't go to. I don't know how this doesn't go to Bricks. I think this game goes to Bricks.
Oof, toying with my emotions there. I thought Mango was a sure win for a second.
Stone walls for Bricks. Small walls with stone walls for Bricks.
Yeah.
Bricks losing quite a few villagers now, though.
Yeah, this knight in on this wood line, and all Bricks really needed to do was just wall this, but
a little bit of chaos from Mango. The higher elos here, you wouldn't see these knights split up like this. A group of 3 and a group of 1. This is really, you almost go so low in elo, you get high, right? Like this is Viper level stuff. Accidental micro.
Like the only difference between what Mango's doing and what Viper could be doing is that Viper would have like 1 knight in the wood line, like Mango does, 2 knights on the farms to the right, and 1 knight on the gold to the left, instead of having 2 knights on an unused mining camp and 1 knight still trying to destroy a barracks by itself.
And Viper wouldn't have 6 minutes of idle TC time. But
he might if it was Budapest and it was post imp.
That's fair. Budapest post imp, we would have it. Scouts on Mango's wood line. Bricks is just kind of left in there.
Yep. I mean, not horrible. I mean, if you have the APM for it, you can be roving around. Oh, but Mango brings out a spear just in perfect timing. Boxer and is cleaning up those scouts. Both of them are now dead.
2 TCs for Mango, 2 TCs for Bricks. Bricks countering Mango's knights with his own knights.
Bulgarian Knights.
Both players have forging. Both players have skill barding.
So if we were to think about higher elo play and how that might differ from here, I think Bricks would probably want to be prioritizing stone more. You have the Krepos at your disposal, which can really help you secure resources and pressure resources from your opponent. A Krepos on that wood line on the left from Mango Lord would also be denying gold, and it would be hitting a stable. Ideas like that. I feel like Bricks, though, is about to get some sweet revenge on this woodline, but Mango sees it coming. Mango's army is not moving. Bricks is now killing villagers. 1 goes down already. He's not going for any more, though. They make it into the town center. Mango has had a lot of idle time because of these raids.
Alright, if these knights meet... Oh. 1 more reinforcement for Mango right at the end. Mango's got the upper hand with HP. But they're kind of being cagey. A little bit of back and forth. Neither player wants to commit to the fight. So Bricks is going to circle around and meet up with even more knights. He's going to get into a wood line and threaten 5 villagers.
Yeah. They're not repairing. They're running away, and now they're going to die.
What I like to do there is figure out which villager they're going after, let them have it, and then wall them back in. And just leave them.
Not a bad idea.
This will be a good fight for Mango. Taking out.
He does take it, yeah.
Taking out a couple of knights.
Yeah, and at this point, it's kind of like they're just bashing each other with knights, trying to gain a significant advantage. I think the significant advantage that's being gained here for Bricks is he's really thrown off the eco of Mango Lord. A lot of villagers are idle. A lot of villagers are really inefficient. And this is where I think Bricks, his experience will come into play. Mango Lord seems to have executed a little bit of a cleaner meta idea on this map. But now his eco is under serious pressure from these knights from Bricks. But is Bricks just going to throw away his army yet again under the town center?
I think if I'm Mango, and this might feel not natural, I would just go 1 TC. You know, 1 TC, a simpler eco, easier to produce. Get most of your villagers off wood, maybe all. Throw them onto gold and food, and then have any new villagers going out to the wood line. And then whenever you look up and you got more than 60 wood, make another farm, throw somebody on gold, and just see if you can get up to 3 or 4 stables. Just pump out knights. That way, your eco is simple, and all you're doing is focusing on outmassing.
Yeah, that's really not a bad idea. Especially as the Franks, I just love 1 TC plays on Franks. It's so fun. It's so fun. And then you can get the castles going for a little more than the cost of for the cost of 1.5 crepos, you can drop a castle. And I mean, look at how many great castle places there are. There's a spot just to the left of Bricks' base that would be hitting 1 town center, 2 golds, and a stone. The castles from the Franks can be used for map control. They can be used to castle drop, just like Korean castles can be. So, but Mango Lord is struggling to manage his eco here. He's got vills everywhere. He's got undefended wood lines. He does pull back his villages there, but these knights from Bricks are buying him a lot of time still. Mango with a 250 score lead, so I have no idea who's going to take this game, to be honest. I feel like Bricks just has things more under control, but I feel like Mango kind of, at any moment, could cause so much damage to Bricks' base.
6 idle villagers for Mango, bouncing from 6 to 10. I like the army idea here for Mango. He mixed in some spears with his knights. That would have given him a definite knight advantage long term. But he hasn't kept the spears up, and it's kind of taken a fight here that looks like he was losing. And for some reason, idled his entire farming economy again.
Once again, yep.
So afraid.
Here, this is another thing where in the higher elos, what you'll start to see is, okay, spears, good. Get those up to pikes, and get like maybe a defensive upgrade on them. But also, you can think about mixing in monks. And
monks would be a good play.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if Mango actually was able to defend his economy with walls, well-placed town centers, a defensive castle, things like that, he could focus on using his knights aggressively, but he cleans up that army from Bricks.
Now, Mango with the greater KD, 46 to 27. Bricks with the greater eco KD, 15 to 12. Bricks with an 11, now a 9 villager lead. It's because of sheer idle time from Mango. But Bricks is throwing some idle time on his TCs right now as well. 2 TCs, neither one producing.
And this is Mango's opportunity right now. I think a lot of players, they take the fight. Like he's taking another fight right now. He's cleaning up these knights. Is he going to kill them all, though? Bricks looks like he's pulling them back. And it is +2/+2 for each of these knights, both of them at 120 HP. Which means that Bricks has gotten bloodlines.
Here's some reinforcements for Bricks.
Yeah, this is going to be a potential disaster.
This is where you want pikes. Pikes might have been able to swing that, at least cripple that army to where it can't come back and hurt you.
Yeah, because as Mango, as soon as you finish that first fight, I want to be deep into the base of my opponent, denying that third town center from Bricks, hitting that gold from Bricks, forcing idle time on Bricks, and forcing him to react to my plays. I feel like Mango Lord has been on the back foot for the second half of this game. He's maintaining a score lead, but the Vil lead is actually shrinking.
Some Frank castles would be beautiful right now. As much as I hate this map, it does create some very nice choke points where one castle can control a wide swath of the game.
I mean, Boxer, look at where these knights are running through for Bricks right now. If that hill had a castle on it, you're blocking the entire center of the map, right?
Great castle.
But Bricks all of a sudden has a huge army, and this is where I think Bricks has his moment to shine. He's producing, looks like, out of 3 stables. He's massed up an army. He hasn't let his stables go idle that much. And now he could actually look to start taking out town centers. And he has pikes of his own.
That's 5 or 6 Mango villagers down. And yeah, like you mentioned, Bricks has brought in pikes. Saw that from Mango and thought, that's a pretty good idea.
Yep, Mango did get that pike upgrade, folks.
There's some pike on pike fighting. Bricks committing to a TC to take it down.
Yep, I like this. And I think what I also love is on the left side, just 5 knights. 5 knights have been peeled off for Bricks. Ooh. He's going to use them to raid.
That'll be brutal. That might be GG if those knights aren't recognized and dealt with.
I mean, this is looking pretty bad as it is.
Oh, Mango saw it.
Here, but
Mango saw it on the left. Garrison the TC.
Again.
Not a great fight for either player. Mango will lose his entire army, but Bricks' army is pretty hurt.
Yeah, it's definitely taking a lot of damage. I think he can still finish this TC off. One issue that I think could have turned it there, Mango came in with his knights grouped up with 1 pikeman that was slowing them all down.
Yep. Now we have knights just streaming into Mango's base from Bricks. You can tell Bricks.
This is brutal.
Bricks has Mango's attention on the north side, and he's just streaming knights into the south to the original base. Yep.
And where's the eco from Mango right now?
Mostly
Mango's
dead.
queued up pikes. He's got 3 barracks. But trickling pikes into knights is not helpful. And now that town center is ejected. Vils are fleeing from Bricks.
Town center's still up for Mango. Mango's floating 600 wood. Needs some gold. It's not a bad time to start abusing that market, especially if Bricks hasn't hit it yet. All right, Northern Army for Bricks will get cleaned up, but we still have 10 knights in Mango's southern base.
Yeah, and the Vil lead now over 20 for Bricks. Bricks might be starting to think about Imperial Age here. Gets wheelbarrow now.
There's a monk on the field for Mango.
Yeah, the monks are coming out, but this is one of those things where it's you have 20 knights against a monk. It's a lot better to have a monk when there's like 3 knights or 5 knights.
26 knights for Bricks on the field. They're heading back north. Finish that TC. Gonna take some Vils with them. A full TC garrison again for Mango.
Yep.
Idle TC times are about even. 27 minutes and 26 minutes, but idle eco 4 hours for Mango, 1 hour for Bricks. That's 15% versus 4%.
Amazing. Amazing. And Bricks is just spreading out across the map now. Definitively taking down this town center.
First Frank Castle. Defending some stone.
Defending Mango's gold. Second town center. And like you said, also hitting that stone and a gold. So securing resources for the meantime. The furthest extended town center from Mango all the way up on the right has gone down. I didn't like that town center anyways. It was touching these berries, but I would have much rather seen that one in the south where there is gold, or even on the west of Mango Lord's base where there is gold. Somewhere easier to defend. Even if, honestly, Boxer, even if that third castle had been placed on the gold that Mango's now taking next to this new Frankish castle, the TC would be defended by this castle.
Here's my thought. If you see a castle come up like that fast, you could probably just go hit it. They don't have murder holes. Just go up there and start punching it.
You could honestly do it at this point, because what is Bango going to defend with? He does have
a lot of pikes.
30 pikes now.
With upgrades.
Yep, has +2 attack, +1 defense.
We're going to see him in action here.
In terms of upgrades, for Bricks, Bricks has Bowsaw, which is the second woodcutting upgrade, and that's the best one that the Bulgarians can get. But hold on a second. He's going for something. He's going for these gold vills. Right? He's diving under this castle, trying to kill more villagers. This could be the finishing blow in terms of villagers.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was a good call. Bricks will hit Imp with 92 villagers. Mango has 38. Yeah. I'm ready to call this for Bricks.
I don't see a way forward for Mango at this point. He's gonna bring the pikes. Shockingly, it looks like he's gonna actually clean up all of the knights. I'm not sure why Bricks let that happen. But
look at that score. Only not even a 500-point difference between these two players right now.
Yeah, isn't that strange? I mean, the game is going to start spiraling now at this point, I believe. More knights at home for Bricks. Bricks, like you said, 50% of the way to Imperial Age. Bricks is dropping a castle now. I don't love this castle. It's on the bottom of Mango's base, but it's not even close to Mango's town center. I just think it could have been more aggressive, or if you wanted to make it defensive, put it up on a hill, defending one of your own town centers.
Another castle for Mango. This one's good. In between some more stone and gold.
Yeah, so I like this one a lot.
Mango's securing resources, but once Bricks hits Imp, those castles aren't going to secure much anymore.
No, because the trebuchets could just come out and knock him down. Bricks doing his homework now as well. He's got a monastery out. He's making a second siege workshop. Just made a first, and he's making light cav even. So he's getting ready to sort of end this game. He's trying to enter his post-imperial state. He has the second farming upgrade. He has wheelbarrow. He has the first gold mining upgrade. He has a lot of the blacksmith upgrades as well for his infantry and his cavalry. Now that he's in Imperial Age, what does he queue up? Nothing. The answer is nothing. He queues up nothing. So here comes Cavalier. Here comes the third armor for those Cavalier. What else? No Trebs. Scorpions? Tell me there's a Treb, Brick. Come on, tell me there's a Treb. Tell me there's one Treb coming for me.
So Mango's doing what he can. He's had 5 and 6-man night raids. That's really your best bet, right? If you're gonna stay in the game, come in, try to get some damage, try to pull some military back until you can do something.
Yeah, I think what you need to do is you need to just hope that you're massing up enough military of the right kind to fight off whatever army comes. At this point, though, it's going to be dozens of Cavalier, almost fully upgraded.
Can you fight this in Castle Age? Even if you have fully upgraded? I mean, I guess you would need a lot of pikes and some really good monk micro.
Let's find out, because Bricks is going forward with 20 Cavalier and 3 light cavalry. The way that Bricks has been taking fights, he's been getting damage in generally on the villagers, but then losing everything under a town center or a castle or to a bunch of pikes. But he's gone straight for this. I mean, this boxer, this is brutal.
No military response from Mango. He has pulled every villager out of the area. Some of them just going nowhere.
I think Mango's collapsing here. I mean, he's raiding. I think once his raid gets cleaned up, though, I think that's the end. He does have
I
these
don't know if
pikes.
it will though.
The town center going down now to Brix's Cavalier already. That was the starting town center for Mangalore. It is gone. And Brix had already killed every villager in the area. Mango pulling his knights out, though, of the raids. He's bringing them back home. They're going to find the scorpions. There's like 10 scorpions here. 9 to be exact.
Ingo releases his villagers, but they're all idle. They don't know where to go.
More are dying on the left as well. Brix is in firm control of this game to the point that he has 13 Cavalier sitting idle off to the side of the map, doing nothing. Mango's doing what he can, though. I mean, he's got knights. If these knights kill all of these scorpions, and if Brix continues forgetting about his Cavalier, it gives Mango time to reboom. I don't know how fast Mango can reboom, though, because in this situation, if you are going to try and reboom, you have to do it very quickly.
Still haven't seen any trebs from Brix.
Yeah, I would have really loved to see a trebuchet. I don't know why we haven't seen one. If you knock out this castle, then you can take out these 2 town centers, and then it's just 1 castle left for Mango. The villager count right now, 89 for Brix to 40 for Mango.
There's another forward castle coming up on that hill we mentioned earlier from Mango. Pikes going in advance to clear out some light cav.
This is chaos. What are these villagers doing? They're just running into the arms of these cavalry.
And the light cav are going to
trying to get it up.
The pikes.
Oh my god. That castle has 10 HP. And Brix is just running past it.
Oh no.
10 HP. But it's all for naught.
There we go.
Wow.
So I mean, there's one in the books for my most Smurf player for Brix. So we'll see if he stays in the running for the rest of the season.
Holy smokes, man.
I think at a minimum, Brix comes out of that game as a favorite to come out of this to come out of this conference. As I say that, Brix wants to put in that he's such a noob. Really trying to downplay the Smurfism that's going on.
That's okay. We're all noobs. We're all noobs here. I mean, what a game that was. A big game. It was a good game. It was a game to be watched on our YouTube channel or in your favorite podcast app.
Yeah,
Kings of Douche 2. Wow, look at that. What games? Well, holy smokes, man. Those are great games.
All right.
I feel buzzed after watching those.
We have one game left, Mackie.
Okay.
The imminent Green Bay Burger versus the newcomer Tellus Forest Games.
Oh boy.
This is the final game of the week. The final game of week 1. Final game of the Berserk Conference. The Berserk Conference, aptly named because we expect chaos like what we just witnessed.
Yes.
Throughout this whole time. Green Bay Burger will play the Persians, who, if Green Bay wasn't the first pick, he was at least the second pick and immediately snagged Persians off the table. Mackie, what's Green Bay known for? Why do you think he chose Persians?
Folks, I'd like to tell you about a time when Age of Empires was still like the Wild West, and people could pick Persians because their town center had additional HP on it. And what they would do, these nomadic peoples, they would delete their town center and rebuild it next to their opponents. And then they would put at least 10 villagers in that town center and shoot their opponent's town center with arrows until it was destroyed. This is known as the pre-barracks Dresh, formerly known as the Douche.
This is the historical reason that the Spartans held the Persians at the hot gates. They knew that if the Persians got through, they didn't have any walls, right? There was nothing to stop these Persian villagers from walking through and just dropping a town center in the middle of Sparta. That was actually King Leonidas' response to Xerxes' messenger when the messenger came and explained what the Persians were going to do. King Leonidas said "douche," just one word, and that's historically where this comes from. So, little known fact.
Yeah, man. That's not true, by the way.
I don't know.
Just so you all know. Well, actually, yeah. To be fair, we don't know. We don't know for sure.
I paraphrased, obviously, but
well, do you think that the Persians should have sent like one villager and just been like, "Hey, yo, we want to like take over your town, dude," and they're like, "Ah, nah," and they're like, "Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna build one right next to yours," and then
at least 8 to 10 villagers is what the Persians should have sent. So with that, Mackie, let's just jump in.
Our villagers will black out the sun.
I'm at 20 seconds. Green Bay taking his unique civ, and Telesphorus taking Japanese, which is one of his secondary civs.
Fantastic.
All right.
So, Boxer, after that interlude, do you notice anything strange about the beginning of this game?
I do. I see that the historical strategies of the Persians are not lost on Telesphorus, and he has now placed 20.
Homer.
He's obviously a student of history like myself. He's placed 20 rapidly. I would say he's rapidly placed 20 palisades all around his TC.
Yeah.
And I've said in the past, I don't think the palisade strategy works. I've never seen it implemented so thoroughly. I think this might work.
Now, there are some issues. Telesphorus Games does not have villager production.
But he also wouldn't have villager production if his TC was on fire and on the ground either.
Here's what I think. I think that he should have done this a little later in the game.
You never know, right? You never know with the douche.
Right, like what if Green Bay came with like his starting 3 villagers?
Yeah, just dropped it.
I mean, the funny thing is Green Bay is going to see this. Like that moment in Green Bay's mind when he sees this, is he going to go for it? I think yes. I think he's still going to go for it.
Yeah, if I'm Green Bay, I just punch some of these palisades down, right? And then just drop my TC.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I can't believe it. Look how many palisades.
I think you can chop that one tree and then punch 2 or 3 palisades and get your TC down.
2, 3, 4, 1. You don't even need to destroy any palisades. If you chop that one tree, you don't need to destroy any palisades. But yeah, there's so many spots here still where you could take out 2 palisades and then you have options. Green Bay lost a Ville.
Yeah, well, guess what?
Lying?
Guess what, Green Bay? Nope, he's not lying. You're still ahead, so don't worry about it. Still ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an instant replay on that one. So you keep going. That's hilarious. This is so funny, man.
This is something, I mean, I'm glad we saved this for last. We have the venerable Parts, who is a skilled practitioner in the douche, and he says this might work.
Yeah, that's about the best praise you can get from Parts in terms of a defense. It might work. So yeah, Green Bay did in fact lose that Ville to a boar.
Had a little bit of scout micro on a hillside. They were trading blows, trying to get to the top of the hill, and I think Green Bay just didn't care anymore. Just let its scout die.
That's so funny. Green Bay has priorities. What I like about this though is Green Bay has scouted that a bunch of these are there. These palisades are there, but has not scouted all the palisades. And folks, in case you were curious, it's 42 palisades.
Green Bay is taking 2 rhinos and 1 sheep with 1 villager. He's got both his rhinos on the ground. That's the kind of chaos I'm here for.
Absolutely.
He also has houses right up next to his TC. That's going to take up farm space, you might think.
He's going,
He's going, and he's left the rhinos on the ground.
I can't believe it. There's just no, like, what?
All right, 10 vills. We have a 7-minute counter. In my games versus Green Bay that I prep for, he's at your base between 8 and 9 minutes every time. So he's sticking to the standard, 20 seconds until we get to 8 minutes. But
where does he go in, though?
He's seen the palisades, so...
How does he get in there? Because Tillis Forest, that one spot we were looking at with that tree drop, I mean, there's a house there now. Where does he go? Did Tillis Forest see it? I don't think he saw it.
Not yet. Not yet. But I mean, what are you going to do? What's the response going to be? I mean, you already prepped.
Green Bay just shoots this ostrich on the way. So he's coming around the other side.
All right, Green Bay's thinking about it.
This might not be a very long game.
With all these palisades, you could have just built a wall. All right, there you go. Knox, no, thinks about taking down a tower.
Well, that one's on a hill. It doesn't help. So Telus Forest is coming into Vil fight now. Why would you Vil fight? You're already ahead. At this stage in the game, here's another question.
You've almost caught up.
You've almost been deleted.
You've almost caught up in villagers now.
It's all or nothing right now.
All right, now Green Bay's making his own walls, using Teleforce's walls as part of the wall.
He wants to keep, but he's not doing the math. Like nothing is gonna fit there.
Teleforce making another palisade, dropping another palisade.
Goats are coming forward.
Green Bay's taking goats in the middle of this fight.
He's destroying palisades, but like nowhere useful.
Yeah, I don't think you could even fit. There's a hill. You can't even use this north side.
I can't believe this.
He's just taking the goats like it's a thing to do. I don't know what his plan is.
Boros shoots one of his own goats.
And then Telos Forest with his 200 wood is making even more palisades. And can almost, if he's quick, could almost wall him in.
Because I bet you in Telos Forest's head, he's still like full panic mode.
Like, oh yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like, what am I gonna do?
I'm gonna die.
Here we go. TC's starting to come up.
Well, at this point.
Yes. No. What do we?
I mean,
you just need it. He needs a T. Green Bay needs a TC.
He needs a TC.
Anywhere.
He's just
and he could lose this Vil fight easy.
He's just gonna trade off these Vils.
Delete this TC and make it at home. You've got some villagers at home. Just go home. Go home, Green Bay. You're drunk.
This doesn't work. This doesn't work. He's not sending any more villages forward.
He doesn't have any more villagers. They got to do stuff at home. Okay, with 3 villagers left, no, they're dead. These are dead.
Vills, but he just failed. He just completely failed the wall.
All these villagers are dead. Delete that TC and get out of there. He's still trying to build it. Why? You've lost. He's got the high ground.
It's over. It's
okay,
over.
He does delete the TC.
Hey, but Boxer, at least Green Bay's still swinging, right?
He's still swinging. That's the Green Bay says,
Those Force just laughs. I mean, what do? He is building a town center. Sorry, but no. Says Telos Foros. I like it.
I guess the Green Bay calls the GG, but does he resign?
GG.
That's it. 14-minute game.
My gosh.
First time I've ever seen the Palisade defense work. And I guess the trick is you got to commit, right? Like you can't half-heartedly put 7 or 8 down. You've got to put down, what was our final number? 48.
48?
You got to go
Not including the
48.
ones that got destroyed?
48 or nothing, right?
Yeah. Part says if I was scouting and saw that, I wouldn't have even attempted to douche. I think for game one of the Kings League, I feel like that switch was on in Green Bay's head, and there was no way to turn that switch off. I feel like it's when someone's like driving super fast and someone's screaming to stop the car, and you're going like, I can't hear you because your head's out the window as you're driving 200.
That's exactly what happened here.
Man, oh man.
Life comes at you fast sometimes. I
I can't believe that game.
Now I want to hear from Telesforus. I want to know if somebody tipped him off about what Green Bay does, or if because Telesforus came in late, didn't hear a lot of
Yep.
our background chatter,
Yep.
doesn't know the team. Um,
Yep.
did you watch some Green Bay games and realize, oh, this guy doesn't do anything except for TC drop openings?
Well, Green Bay hasn't been playing that much, so I don't know. I don't know what happened. It would be really interesting to know. Um, yeah. And this is, what's really interesting about this is I feel like Green Bay's games are going to be an evolution, a meta evolution of its own throughout the season, because you're gonna have like everyone that plays against Green Bay in the future is gonna watch this game and say, well, maybe I'll just do that because it worked. But then, of course, if they just do that again, Green Bay eventually is going to start going, okay, I just won't do that. I'll just castle drop you instead because you're going to be so far behind to
Or
castle age.
or Willie?
Exactly, or will he just keep trying? And if he does, will he eventually succeed and become like the Huang of the season? I mean,
I think
come on. He's making us. He started remaking his TC at home. It got halfway up and then called GG. But even then, the TC is like it's just next to his berries, and he's already got a mill there. So what is he gonna do? I don't know. Like I'm just curious to know where Green Bay takes this next time.
what I'd like to see from Green Bay is maybe send 3 or 4 villagers if you see something like this, just to put your opponent into panic and like hit some walls or
Oh yeah.
just do. But then at home, just keep booming, just keep
I mean,
playing your game.
Telesforo's like full idled the economy for a while there,
Oh yeah,
almost.
from the beginning and
So
during the fight.
yeah, I feel like Telesforo's read the play well. He knew he just had to shut him down, and it was over, and he did that.
I
But
also wonder if Telesforce has practiced this or not.
this is how I mean, you have to feel like this has been done a couple times. There's got to be a more systematic way to do this, though.
That was a good map gen for Telesforce too. Like that's a pretty
Yeah,
tight base with a lot of weird
man.
heals.
So funny though, like Green Bay Burger totally smashed Telesforos in one metric, and that's idle TC time.
Oh yeah, we're looking at 45 seconds for Green Bay and 3 minutes and 21 seconds out of a 14-minute game
Yeah,
from
of course.
Telesforce.
We don't need to mention that that's because Green Bay did not have a town center for like 2.5 minutes, but small potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, little known fact, if you don't have a town center, it doesn't get counted as idle. So
So fantastic games,
those are
absolutely fantastic,
those are great. That was a good close to week one.
absolutely. That was
Uh,
perfect.
we've got 8 more weeks of this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we saw Ivy Daly take it over Azure. We saw Jimmy Best CJ, which was great on that fantastic Crater game. We saw GunnerGates versus Super Kingman on Budapest. I don't even know what to say about that one. Mango Lord versus Bricks, and finishing that out, Green Bay Burger versus Telesforos. Green Bay taking the win. Jeez, jeez. Just clownish.
little bit of
I,
clowning,
I don't know what else. I mean,
a lot of trying. I'm
a
not
lot
even
of
going to say.
trying.
I'm not even going to say try harding. Just
Yeah,
everybody's trying.
trying.
Everybody's
That's
trying.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's like when people accuse you of try harding, I always like to say, yeah, like I'm gonna try my hardest every game. Obviously, if I want to win, I'm going to do certain things, and I think that's what people refer to when they say try harding is like, oh, you pick, I don't know, the civ with the highest win rate, or you've done this or blah blah blah, versus like when I play a game, I just want to try, and I think that spirit, I really felt that spirit in these games. People didn't give up. They just kept trying their best. And what I love about that is all these players are going to walk out of this say, okay, I tried my best. I can't argue with that. And I lost. So what did I do wrong? And how do I need to improve? And that's what this league is all about to me. That's what the Kings League is all about. And that's what we're trying to show you on Kings of Age.
Maggie, I just want this to be uh, the thumbnail for our YouTube video. Is these 15 random Palisades, and I don't want any other like context. Just
It's beautiful. It's
just put that
beautiful.
up. I want people to look at it and say, I need to know what the heck just happened here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can't beat that.
But
You can't beat that.
that was
Maybe
fun.
we'll do maybe we'll do another prize at the end of it, as a sort of like, if you're like getting crushed and you really feel like you have no hope, at least you can make it on the thumbnail. You can at least make it on the thumbnail, even if you have the shortest game, even if you have the fastest loss. Green Bay Burger, you can still make it on the thumbnail, and that's because these people are professionals. At what, I'm not sure, but but they're taking their chance.
Part says say your opponent is Persians without saying your opponent is Persians. Those Palisades do it. But that was fun. Thanks to the players. Thanks for everybody that showed up to watch it live. You guys see it on YouTube. If you listen to the podcast, we appreciate all of you as well. Mackie, closing thoughts?
Wow. I mean, closing thoughts. I'm really impressed with the what people have put in here. I think everyone from Ivy Daly getting off that beast, walling for his base. Azure just trying so hard to wall his base as well. Like that's something I love. Like if I have to distill these games into storylines, for me it was like Azure versus Daly's like walling showdown. You know what I mean?
That was like an engineering matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And Azure's just like okay, make a suspension bridge out of spaghetti noodles, and Azure's like they're all breaking. I just feel like every match was like that for me.
All very unique, very different approaches. I enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping in.
And I wanted to ask you, Boxer, do you have any productivity tips for us this week?
Yeah, if you don't watch Twitch and streams while you work, you can be a lot more effective and productive.
I would agree. And the reason I would agree is because if you have a job that doesn't allow you to expand your brain as you progress through the company, you probably need a better job.
And we'll end on that. So thanks, everybody. And we'll catch you around next time.
Kings League. This is King's Age. Boxer and Mackie out.